Welcome to Erratic Sleep Patterns, guys. What's up, pretty people? Happy New Year. I spent several weeks actually trying to figure out what video I wanted to make for the new year, and nothing I was doing felt right. I couldn't decide if I wanted to be celebratory or reflective, and you know, it wasn't until last night when I was sitting in the bathtub with my two scared dogs that I realized I'm also scared. 2020 was a bad year for a lot of people, and I know that because some people didn't have a bad year, which is good for them. I'm very happy for them. They find it difficult to see how difficult the year was for other people. And in some cases, I feel like they minimize the struggles that people were having and are having still. I like the optimism of a new year changing things. I'm not one who generally goes with that vibe. I think if you want to make a change, you make a change then. I don't make New Year's resolutions. I don't generally plan out things because I know that overall things are chaos and you can't fight against that. I feel I usually end up where I'm supposed to be. I don't necessarily know why things are happening when they happen, but after I can look back and see how it helped me get to where I needed to be. 2019 was actually a bad year for me, and I had thought that maybe the fact that I don't plan, that I don't, set long-term goals was what was making, I don't know, me a failure. So I thought, let's turn it around. Maybe this is the way to go. Let's make a plan. So I made a plan for 2020. 2020, I had actually mapped out with goals for specific dates and things to get done. And I knew where I was going to be and what I was going to do. First time ever, 2020 was the year I decided to do that. And everything fell apart. I would say that every goal that I set I ended up in the reverse position. So I still don't believe that planning is the way to go. I hated 2020. And I also want this new year to be better. I always want things to be better for everyone. The thing is, the shift in the calendar, while, how do you say it in English?
How do you say it in cucumber? Cucumber.
While the shift in the calendar may be emotionally significant and a mile marker, a lot of outside factors haven't changed. And they're still going to have some effects and repercussions on you, right? I see a lot of people, optimistically and encouragingly being like, make this your year. And obviously, I think everyone should try, right? I want people to be happy. I want people to be successful, and I want them to, not give up. But I think if we're putting too much on a person's personal responsibility, you're setting them up to feel like a big failure, right? So there's still a pandemic going on, right? Whether you want to believe it or not, there it is. And it's still affecting things. And we have inconsistent closures and we have inconsistent rules. And because of that and the uncertainty and all of this, there are limits on the things that you can do to improve your life, right? There are failures that are going to happen because of the circumstances of what's going on. And while it may lead you eventually to a better place, it's still not something that you can control. Again, I'm not saying don't try. I'm not saying that it's hopeless. What I'm trying to get at is think small, I guess. I try to be optimistic and I try to be grateful for everything that I have. And I am, don't get me wrong. But when you set up, what I've learned from 2020 and the planning is when you set up a lot of goals or a lot of hope or a lot of ideas, and for whatever reason you're unable to make them happen, it sets you up to just constantly be failing. I had probably more failures this last year than I've ever had. I've never tried harder than I did in 2020, and I have almost nothing to show for it. And because it went so poorly, I know that this next part, right, at least the next couple of months, is going to be rough. And it doesn't mean just because it starts out bad that the year is a loss. I'm not so worried about myself overcoming what's next and, you know, riding the wave of all the things that I can't control. But I do worry about the mentality that, like, right now is when you should be turning it all around. I think in a lot of cases people can't. And I don't want people to take that as a failure on themselves, right? If you're trying, and this is what I try to tell myself, but if you're trying, you're not failing. At least you're not failing yourself, right? And that's the only thing that you can really do. I would say if you're going to make a goal, the goal for this year and any year is just to survive, right? I know how hard that is. I guess I would say survive as long as you can, right? Because even if, like, you can't control when it's your time, right? So if you have a stroke, you have a heart attack, whatever happens, didn't mean you failed. You survived as long as you could, right? Everything has a time limit, but just do your best to keep going forward as long as you can. There's a quote, there's more to living than just surviving. But sometimes that is all you have. I know that so often that seems like it's just a baseline and people don't think that it should be celebrated, but it's hard sometimes to just keep going. It's hard to want to see what comes next and, you know, push yourself past points that you didn't think you could go through. So 2021 may be your year. Maybe it's not going to be your year. Maybe your year is 2023. Just do your best to keep trying, keep moving forward. Things are going to be rough for a lot of people for at least a little while, right? There's no magic fix. The calendar doesn't make everything better. It's probably good to have goals. Personally, it's not good for me, but maybe it's good for you to have goals and keep trying for them for as long as you can. Do what you can to keep going. Try to find the good things and be grateful when you have them. Try to be kind to other people. I feel like there's a lot less of that going around. And I mean, when you have so many people in survival mode, it makes sense, but it would be easier, I think, if we could all be kinder to each other. And know that sometimes if things aren't working out, they're not working out because they're meant to not work out. And it might lead you to something even better that you didn't know that you could have. Even if all you did in 2020 was survive, that's amazing. A lot of people were not so lucky. There's so much that's not fair and so much that's just absolute chaos. So even if it feels like you're very unlucky, there's still some luck in that, right? So if you've made it this far, I'm proud of you. I hope you can make it further and to a point where you see good times again. And hopefully all of those positive people are right. This will be a great year and things will turn around. All right, so I'm going to end it here. It's not necessarily a fun or exciting video. I just want you to know you're not alone and that I'm pulling for you. And I hope you have a good day. All right, bye.
Thanks for watching.